Happy New Comic Book Day, everyone. My name is Greg. I'm Midtown Comics' Marketing and Events Manager. John is behind the camera. He is the Digital Marketing Manager. And just like every single Wednesday, we are here in Midtown Comics Times Square to give you a look at this week's brand new releases. If you see a comic that you want to get a better look at, leave a comment, let John know, he'll let me know, and we'll flip through it for you. We'll give you a preview. So, let's get right to it. Up first, Dark Horse Comics. They have a lot of great properties. As you can see, if you love sci-fi, it's a great choice. Aliens Defiance, going strong, issue number 7. Third chapter of Predator versus Judge Dredd versus Aliens. John, who are you rooting for?
Oh boy, I'm gonna go with, I want the Predator and Judge Dredd to team up and kill the aliens.
I want Judge Dredd to win, but I feel like the Predator would. Got a very cool opening there. As you can see, you have a Pred alien for all the sci-fi fans out there. Alright, we'll show one more page. Dark Horse Comics. As you can see, there's also a black and white cover as well. Pretty cool. And each cover's been great so far. They've had a close-up with the reflection of the other two. As you can see, obviously, in this case, it's the Predator. There's also Rise of the Black Flame, World of Tanks from Garth Ennis. And then we go right into DC, who has a very big week for DC Rebirth. Brand new chapter of Aquaman, great cover there. Is this the first chapter of War? I'm not sure. Let me take a look. Regardless of whether or not this is the first chapter, let's look through it. Should be more Aquaman fans out there. It is Act 1. So let's say you missed out on the first 11 issues. You should go catch up. But in the event there's no room in the budget or maybe you don't have time, you could just pick this issue up, get right into it. Not sure if you saw on the other page, Black Manta is, of course, playing a part in this. Got an ad for Suicide Squad. We do have the extended cut available on our website for pre-order. That comes out next Tuesday. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is Aquaman number 12, the start of a brand new story. Check it out. And then, speaking of number 12, we also have Batman number 12. Tom King, Michael Janin, got a great Tim Sale cover there. I'm not going to flip through this because in the last chapter of I Am Suicide, there was a plot twist, a big cliffhanger. So the premise here is Bane has Psycho Pirate. If you read Crisis on Infinite Earths, you of course know who Psycho Pirate is. Bane has him. Batman needs Psycho Pirate though. So he has formed his own team, his own Suicide Squad if you will, to go to Bane's island to try to get Psycho Pirate back. But seeing as it's a Suicide Squad story or close to it, things obviously aren't going to go according to plan. If I show you the beginning of this, it'll give away last issue's twist, so I will not do that. Instead, I'll give you a friendly reminder that the very talented writer of this comic, Tom King, he'll be at Midtown Comics downtown tomorrow, that's Thursday, from 6 to 8 p.m. Midtown Comics downtown is at 64 Fulton Street. So once again, Tom King will be there for 2 hours signing comics and saying hi to fans. So if you have Batman number 12, or let's say you want to get it, pick it up, go get it signed by him, and you can also get up to 2 other items signed. So get Batman 12 signed, get Omega Man, Vision, Sheriff of Babylon, whatever you want. It's Batman 12 and 2 other items. So once again, Tom King, he'll be there for 2 hours. It's an open signing. We just recommend showing up early to assure that you get in before the store closes. Hopefully we'll see some of you there. Let's move on to other DC comics. Let's say you love old school Batman. DC and Boom have you covered. Batman 66 in a crossover. Moving on, Harley Quinn. Of course I'm going to flip through Harley Quinn. She's a wee bit popular nowadays. It's a brand new chapter of Harley Quinn. It's also brand new Nightwing, welcome to Bloodhaven. New chapter of DC Comics Bombshells. New Cyborg, introducing Variant, which is not a variant cover. That is the primary cover. Let's see what the variant for Variant's introduction is. So that's the variant for Variant. This, however, primary cover. It's also a brand new chapter of the new Dead Man limited series. As you can see, these are hardcovers. Well, not hardcovers, but collected nicely here. So if you want your Dead Man fix, let's say you missed Justice League Dark, check this out. Speaking of limited series from DC, Death of Hawkman, #3. And then DC's also been putting out some Hanna-Barbera comics. You have a new chapter of the Flintstones right there. And then a comic that I'm very excited to read this week, Green Arrow from Percy and Schmidt. This is the start of a new story. As you can see, of course, Black Canary's been playing a big part in this comic. And if you also love the Lemire and Sorrentino run, you'd be happy to know that Emiko is in this, as well as Diggle. And Henry. Sorry, can't forget Henry. I don't want to give anything else away. I love this book. Check it out. Percy's also on Teen Titans, which has also been incredibly fun. And John will provide a close-up of some of the other DC comics here. We have new Green Lanterns, the first physical collection of Injustice, Ground Zero. So if you love the video game or you're excited for Injustice 2, this is what you have to be reading. I think this is Lee Bermejo, this cover. So let's say you missed out on Injustice, you don't know what's going on. Here is a quick recap that appears. I haven't read the comic yet. As you can tell, it of course focuses on Harley Quinn. Got a brand new chapter of Justice League. This is where you get all of DC's greatest heroes in one book. Got an amazing and attention-grabbing cover right there. We also have a new chapter of Midnighter and Apollo. Let me give you a quick preview of this. It's also a reprint of Raven, as well as Shade, the Changing Girl, and then new Superman. This has been one of my favorite titles from DC, Rebirth. I've given you so many previews already from DC, so I'm not going to flip through this one, sorry. Pete Tomasi and Patrick Gleason and Doug Mackey, but it is a great title. If you love Superman, you have to be reading this. Or let's say you are even someone who doesn't get why Superman is interesting. Let's say you think he's a boring dude. Read this comic. Hopefully it's going to win you over. Now, if we look up before we move on to the Wonder Woman crossover, you can see DC, as well as Dark Horse, they have some great collections out this week. You have the trade paperback of the final part of the Dark Side War. Got that amazing Jason Fabok artwork right there, of course, written by Jeff Johns. And we also have The Flash by Mark Waid, Book 1. I'm very excited to pick this up today. So if you're loving the Flash TV show, you know what to pick up this week. Speaking of which, I did not catch last night's episode. John, did you watch it?
No.
I got to watch it tonight. I've been watching it, every night on Tuesdays, but last night I had to miss it, and I'm dying a little bit on the inside because of that. I'm really excited to see it because I think it was the mid-season finale, and I'm avoiding spoilers at all costs. So once again, Mark Waid, Book 1, run on The Flash. Pick it up. So Jerry Conway's Firestorm, The Nuclear Man. Let's say you love Legends of Tomorrow, you're interested in this character, pick it up. And if you somehow missed out on Rebirth and you want to give everything a shot, DC has you covered. This includes every single one-shot for the brand new series. As you can see, it has the Justice League cover, which is fitting because it has so many of the heroes. Great names attached to each of these respective titles, of course. Very appropriate quotes. Check this out.
Hector responded, yes, the episode was dope, and it was the mid-season finale.
Great. All right. Glad it was good, Hector. I'm looking forward to it. As you can see, this does include the Rebirth one-shot, which is mandatory reading, so it's very good that they include that in here. And then you have every single Rebirth one-shot. Now, it's worth noting that Jeff Johns worked with every single creative team to help them set the direction for these comics. They wanted to go back to, why do people love these characters? What is it that makes these DC heroes and villains and teams so special? What can we do to, bring them back to their greatness? And so far, they're succeeding and then some. Rebirth has been incredible. How much is this? Okay, so it's $75. And it includes about a gazillion issues, all of which will very likely get you emotionally invested in each series, because it's just been great. Let's say you want to learn more about the whole universe. Boom. DC Comics Encyclopedia, the definitive guide to the characters of the DC universe. This is the all-new edition. How much is this? John, do you see the price on this? I assume it's free if you can't find the price.
It is on the inside flap.
It's on the inside flap. Thank you, Vic. $40. All right. And this has detailed information about so many characters. I'm going to test this thing. Does this have Brutale? He is a lesser-known villain. Putting you on the spot, Encyclopedia. I do not see Brutale. That's okay. He doesn't really deserve an entry. Although there is a section back here for... So, Savant in there. This is pretty cool that they did this to give a... Oh, there we go, Brutale. So they even have him. He's like their terrible equivalent of Bullseye. Couldn't even meet Tim Drake. Poor guy. Alright, so this is very cool, very detailed. If you love the DC Universe, if you want to learn more about the DC Universe, it's looking like this is something you have to pick up. As you can see here, classic Batman, 66. We also have a whole lot of Star Trek collections, creepy archives from Dark Horse, Conan. There's a glare so I can't see this, Baltimore Empty Graves, and 20 Years of Tomb Raider. I remember playing the old school game on my Sega Saturn. Anyway, moving on. We have a book co-published by Dynamite Entertainment and DC Comics, Wonder Woman 77, and The Bionic Woman. As you can see, 2 covers available. And then we get into Vertigo. You have Ever After, Unfollow. Got some new Archie comics right here. Reggie and Me, 3rd chapter right here. And then, let's say you're missing Alan Moore's work, Providence, right there. There you go. So John will give you a close-up on a few of these. And then we move into Valiant Entertainment. As you can see, a new chapter of Archer and Armstrong, a new chapter of Faith, and then a silent standalone issue of Ninjak. If you're a G.I. Joe fan, probably going to remind you of Silent Interlude. You have this guy, you have the cat variants. And as you can see, a little bit of a nod to Silent Interlude there. So, silent issue. John and I flipped through this. It's just pure action. If you love good choreography, good fights, I mean, just check out this page. If this doesn't sell you on it, I don't know what will. I'll give you a bit of a close-up. Alright, don't want to give away too much. Speaking of Valiant, they announced the other day, actually, XO Manowar has a brand new series coming in, I believe it was March. So that's going to be a new series for them. XO's back. Of course he is. He's their biggest character, so John and I are looking forward to that. I'm even wearing an XO shirt today, perfect timing. And then we get into IDW Publishing. New chapter of Micronauts, new chapter of Revolution, and for all the Trekkies out there, Star Trek, New Vision, The Hidden Face, The X-Files Origin, Yakuza Demon Killers #2, and DC has so many collections out today. This is going to be such an expensive week for me. You have The Legend of Wonder Woman collected as a hardcover. And you also have Injustice, Gods Among Us, Year 4, Volume 2, and then also Year 5, Volume 1 as a hardcover. And then, as if that wasn't enough, the Absolute Edition of Infinite Crisis. Phil Jimenez, Jeff Johns, Obviously a huge event for the DC universe. Whew. This is already an expensive week for me. Alright, moving on. Let's go to Image Comics. Although, before we do that, you can see a new Archie collection up there, as well as another Star Trek collection, as well as ODYC, Zombie, The Adventure is Yours, and 1 Week in the Library, a brand new original graphic novel from Image Comics. Alright, while we're up here, let's go to the other Image Comics releases. This is a personal favorite of mine. I Hate Fairyland Volume 2. This is absolutely worth a double dip for me. I adore this series. Scotty Young just totally unleashed. It is twisted fun. It is obviously not for kids. Here, let's see what this opening quote is. I adore this series. I cannot get enough of it. I have all the single issues, but I'm absolutely double dipping. It is just so creative, so fun, so hilarious. Check it out, man. Black Science as well. Beauty, as I said before, 1 Week in the Library, is an original graphic novel. And then Spread. The best way I could describe this, just like many others have, is basically think of John Carpenter's The Thing. Oh no! We have a trade down. John Carpenter's The Thing meets The Last of Us. It's a great horror book. Let's give you a quick preview. Don't want to give away too much. And this is by writer Justin Jordan. I know Kyle Strahan worked on it. I'm not sure who the artists are behind this volume, because I'm a little behind, unfortunately. But Justin Jordan also did Dead Body Road, Luther Strode, some other great stuff. Putting that back. Alright, now let's check out the brand new single issues. There's plenty of trade paperbacks. Black Science, Cannibal, New Eclipse, number 4, as well as a new Glitter Bomb, Invisible Republic, and then we're going to pause for a moment at Motor Crush, creative team behind Batgirl, with a brand new series. Fletcher, Stewart, Babstar. So once again, this is a brand new series. You can just pick up this issue and go for it. We'll show 2 more pages. Alright, once again, Motor Crush number 1, new series, Image Comics, and the team behind Batgirl, Fletcher, Stewart, and Tar. We also have a new Nailbiter, new Revival, new Ringside, Savage Dragon, still going strong. As you can see, there's a reprint of Violent Love, issue 1. We had Frank and Victor in the store recently. I believe signed copies of issue 1 are still available online. They're at cover price, man, $3.99 for a brand new number 1 series from Image Comics, signed by the writer and artist. How can you say no to that? Come on. And then, second issue right here. Love this cover. Gonna give you a quick preview. This is a series that should definitely be on your radar. Frank Barbieri, of course, some people may know him from Five Ghosts, some other stuff, but for me, he did a great Doctor Strange issue. It was a New Avengers Annual. Look for it. It's Doctor Strange, half his face is a skull. So you're looking for, let's say you like the movie, you want to read a good Doctor Strange comic, you already heard about The Oath, Doctor Doom limited series. Check out New Avengers Annual. Can't miss the cover, man. Violent Love number 2. Once again, signed copies of number 1 available on our website. Also, new chapter of The Walking Dead, but obviously I'm not going to flip through that. Too many spoilers. And we also have a new chapter of The Wicked and the Divine. If you've never heard of this book before, check out blog.midtowncomics.com. Enrique wrote an amazing blog post about why this book means so much to him and why it is worth your attention. So that is everything from Image Comics. And now we move into Marvel. I guess let's take a look, because Marvel also has a lot of collections out this week. Let's say you heard the big plot twist regarding Captain America, but you don't know what's actually going on. You just heard, you saw the articles and the headlines, and you're upset about it, curious about it. Get the context. Come on, there's more to a story than 2 words, people. There's always going to be big twists, but what matters is how they're executed and what it means for the character and everyone around them. So get all the context, and of course also read Sam Wilson, Captain America for more. This I did not know was coming out today and caught me by surprise. The Brian Posehn and Jerry Duggan run, also with Mike Hawthorne, Tony Moore, Scott Koblish. It's a really, really, really good run. I mean, my favorite Deadpool series, there's of course the run that started with Joe Kelly, but Cable and Deadpool was actually my favorite. And this is a strong contender. It was just consistently great. It started off as over-the-top fun, ridiculous violence and comedy, but they were doing some real strong character work as well. They were building up a supporting cast, and they built up to a very, very emotional story with Deadpool called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Had a great follow-up as well. I mean, I agree with this poll quote from whoever that former Comic Vine writer was. Seriously, Deadpool fans, this is the story you've been waiting for. Great quote. No idea who wrote it, though. Definitely not me. Pick it up. So good. If you love Deadpool, if you love the movie, you haven't checked out his comic yet, get this. How much is it? It is... It's like almost 60 issues for $100. And if you know that Marvel issues are usually $3.99 each, sounds like a good deal. So, I can't wait to get that. Let's say once again you like the Deadpool trade. Or what am I talking about? I got distracted. Doctor Strange. The hardcover was previously out, but let's say you're working with a limited budget, can't afford to spend a few extra bucks on every collection you get. Trade paperback is out. This is the brand new Doctor Strange run. Check it out. It's also a mega collection of Brian Michael Bendis' Guardians work. So if you love the trailer, which I think it's impossible to believe you didn't like the trailer, it's just so lovable. This is Bendis' work, which of course draws influence from the films with his take on the characters. And if you want to relive The Force Awakens, got a hardcover adaptation right here. It's also Star Wars A New Hope, Uncanny X-Men, and some of the old school X-Men in an epic collection. Chug it up. Alright, and we have Vic here. Vic is the best Midtown Comics employee in the world.
You.
No
Oh,
disrespect
great.
to every other Midtown Comics employee.
Thanks, man.
He is just that good. What are you recommending today and why?
This week, Boom has put out the complete Frank Miller RoboCop omnibus.
Who's Frank Miller?
If you're not familiar with Frank Miller, then you shouldn't really be reading comics. Dark Knight Returns, Ronin, 300, Daredevil. The guy is synonymous with some of the biggest comics of like the 80s and 90s. So this actually is based on his original scripts for RoboCop 2 and 3.
Okay.
If you've never read it, it is wild.
Take a look
It is
at it.
crazy. RoboCop 2 basically has art from Juan Jose Rip, who's drawing Britannia from Valiant right now. So it is ultra violent the way Frank Miller had intended, and I'm pretty sure the way it would have worked in the movie. And then his original script for the third one, which is known as The Last Stand. The series, it's really good to. I'm a fan of both films. I know how bad 3 is. 2 doesn't get a lot of love, but it's got like a good nostalgic value. Reading what Miller had originally intended really does change the idea. It's really closer to what the movie could have been like, following the same themes that Paul Verhoeven had did in the first one. There's also a sequel series that Joshua Williamson did, who's also currently writing The Flash.
Good. Yeah, it was like 12 issues, I think.
Yeah,
Boom.
with art from Carlos, I'm pretty sure I misunderstand his name, Magno, who's doing the Kong prequel comic, also from Boom.
Yes.
So definitely check those out. I highly recommend this. If you're
What's the price for this?
The price is $39.99, so about $40, but you're getting like at least over about 25 issues of just like solid RoboCop stories.
So mandatory reading if someone
It's
out there
definitely,
loves the
yeah.
RoboCop
If you
movie.
love the franchise, you
original.
love the movies, yeah,
The original movie.
If you're a big fan, not the remake, if you're a big fan of the original, check this out. You will not be disappointed at all.
Great. And also tomorrow night, are you going to the Tom King signing?
Tom King signing,
What are you
yes.
getting signed?
I'm getting signed Vision #1, fantastic series if you guys haven't picked that up, and #1 of his Batman run, which it's getting up there, like rivaling Snyder's run of with only like 12 issues in so far. The current storyline, I Am Suicide, fantastic. It's
Good
amazing.
stuff. All right, and speaking of Vision, the whole series is actually collected now in 2 trade paperbacks.
2 volumes of the Vision.
It's about
Jeff
12
King,
issues, I
Tom
think.
King. It's essentially one of the best things I've read from Marvel by far all year long. You guys gotta check it out. It's the best thing that they've put out in a long time. It is. You will not.
I heard it
think
compared
it.
to Watchmen recently.
Yeah, it has that feel to it. It has like this is something that only happens like every couple of years, like a book that is this good. Definitely check it out.
All right, cool. So if anyone wants any other recommendations, Vic is always here, Midtown Comics. He literally lives in here. He's always here. If he's sleeping in the corner, just go wait. He's off. He's off hours, but you wake him up anyway. He'd be happy to talk to you about comics and make some personal recommendations for you.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Or go to tomorrow night signing at Midtown Comics downtown.
And ask me in person.
Yeah, 64 Fulton Street, 6 to 8 p.m. Once again, Thursday night. Vic, thank you so much for recommending RoboCop.
Guys, check this out. It's really good. You won't be disappointed.
I'd buy that for what, $40 is it?
Nah, I'd buy it for $1.
Yeah, but it's $40.
Yeah.
It's $40, not $1. All right, thank you very much, Vic.
You got it.
All right, so let's take a look at the Marvel new releases. All right, Champions #3. This is a really big title for Marvel right now. As you can see, got the action figure variant. Let's take a look at this. Mark Waid, Roberto Ramos. Mark Waid is a busy dude because there's also a brand new chapter of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Avengers #2. This is an especially big comic for Marvel. Okay, I don't want to give away the cliffhanger for the last issue, but it is a big series for Marvel. Check it out. Let's say you want to read some more Deadpool. They have you covered. Got I think this is Trad Moore on the cover. I love these Irene Widely intros. And this is still written by Jerry Duggan. He's the co-writer of the Mega Collection that I strongly recommended. He has a good handle on the character. There's a really good mix of comedy, violence, heart. Not going to flip through Moon Knight because this book has been full of twists and turns. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I will recommend it. It's very good. It's a good new take on Moon Knight. I know we've seen so many different approaches from different writers, and this has been a good, unique approach so far. It's also a brand new chapter of Nova. Let's say you're totally unfamiliar with the character, adequate intro page right here. Alright. There's also a new Scarlet Witch. And I never thought I'd see the day. But he was a merc. He was part of Deadpool's Mercs for Money, now Slapstick, as his own series. Primary cover right here. Do a quick preview for you. Show one more page before we move on. As you can see, it includes your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Speaking of Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, new chapter of that. It's also a brand new chapter of Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy. Great Delato cover there. I'm not going to flip through this because obviously plenty of big reveals going on every single issue of this book. Dan Slott is well aware that people have a negative impression of clones when it comes to Spider-Man. But he's trying to do something different here. So far, it definitely has my attention. I'd say give it a shot. Judge for yourself. For all the Star Wars fans out there, Dr. Aphra, her own series now. This is the first chapter. Oh, hold on. Let's do this right, John. Leave it there. All right, that didn't go as well as I hoped. But let's move on. And Rogue One is next week. But let's say you really, really love Star Wars. Marvel's been doing some good stuff with all their new series. There's a Darth Maul one coming out in February. I'm very excited for that. All right. Brand new series. There's also a brand new chapter of The Unworthy Thor, the second issue. Definitely going to have to pick this up. As you can see right on the cover, brings in Beta Ray Bill. And then there's also a new chapter of All New Wolverine. This is one of my favorite Marvel titles right now. One of the artists of this title, Nick Varela, she will be in to sign copies of issue 16, I believe on January 13th. Check our website for more, of course, midtowncomics.com. At the bottom of the page, it has our events calendar, or you can find it on our Facebook page, or even on Twitter or Instagram. We're always promoting these. And she'll be there for an hour, signing the latest issue of All New Wolverine, and up to 2 other items. She also did Return of the Living Deadpool, some other stuff, so check out her work, say hi to her, get some comics signed. It'll be a good time. Once again, January 13th. And there may or may not be another announcement regarding that signing. Could be some good stuff if you're looking forward to a little comic book movie coming out in a few months. It's about Logan, I believe, James Howlett. Show one more page. Now, as you can see, they also reprinted Occupy Avengers and Avengers #1 over there. Let's take a second to interrupt V from working and ask him what he recommends this week.
Hey,
So let's go over here, let everyone, take a look at new comics.
What's going on? It's me, not the best employee of Midtown Comics.
Very close second. Very, very close second.
What's up?
You just can't beat Vic, man. Vic is unbeatable.
We'll see. about
Unbeatable.
We'll see.
So what do you recommend?
Best book of for Marvel, at least in my opinion, Unworthy Thor. What Jason Aaron is doing with that series so far is phenomenal. Then you have what else came out? The Clone Conspiracy, which I actually enjoy a little bit more than the main Amazing Spider-Man. And how appropriate, we got the teaser trailer this morning for Spider-Man Homecoming.
The webbing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Steve Ditko. Oh my God. But yeah. What else do we have? I heard you talking about the new Deadpool stuff, and can't forget Slapstick.
Did you get a chance to read that or flip through it yet?
I actually didn't yet, but it's crazy that we live in a time where now we get a slapstick. We actually get a slapstick series. Like, who
There's
would
something
thought,
for
right?
everybody.
Indeed.
Yeah. Still no Craven for me though. Still no Craven.
Not
He's
yet.
appearing in Rocket Raccoon #3 though.
Really?
In February. Yeah.
Nice. Damn. I wish you didn't tell me that.
It was in the February solicitations. Yeah, there's cool comics.
I avoid those.
Okay, sorry.
Actively.
I'm sorry for ruining the upcoming Craven appearance.
It's all good, man. But definitely Unworthy Thor, man. That's where it's at.
Unworthy Thor.
For me this week, that's my top pick.
Yeah, and if you do want to read some good Thor stuff, of course, go back to the beginning of Jason Aaron's work with the character. Thor, God of Thunder, with Saad Ribic.
Yes.
On a broken record. Anytime there's a Thor comic, I recommend that. It's because I legitimately love it. I think
you
it's
can't
one of
blame
those
him,
Marvel
guys.
runs.
Come on.
It's
I don't
really
even
good.
blame you.
You read all of it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it also really helps for everything currently going on with both Thors,
Yeah.
Thor Odin's son
Yep.
and the Goddess of Thunder.
There
So
seems
it's
to be
mandatory reading.
a little bit of tie-in with the original sin
Sorry.
also.
Yes.
A little bit. I'm not gonna get too into it, but if you read that series, then you can catch some little tidbits in the new Unworthy Thor series.
So V, second best employee in all of Midtown Comics. Thank you very much, man.
You got it.
All right. And thank you for watching. We hope you all enjoy reading new comics today. Remember to be good to each other and recommend some comics to your friends. Have a good one. See you next time.